Well, you all want to hang out, so I'm going to give you a hangout. Probably won't be long, but we'll see how it goes. The link to get in is at the Great Debate Community Forums. Go get it if you want to get in here. Anybody's invited, but it only holds 10, so it's a first come, first serve. Oh, by the way, I've got to turn on cameraman just in case. But anyways, the topic of the hangout is G-Man, I want a divorce. Now, I know you're going to think that it's you, and I don't want you to think that it's you, G-Man. It is me. It is all me. I just feel like you and I are going in different directions, and I need to be able to explore other options and other people. Take that for whatever you want to. And I just don't think we're heading in the same direction and have the same goals in mind anymore, G-Man. So if we can kind of like, separate from each other, that'd be like great. I don't know how you do that on the internet like this. I don't know how it works on YouTube. So if there's like any guy good divorce lawyers, let me know. I don't want anything from you. I'm not asking for alimony. I'm not asking for subscribers. I'm not asking for shout outs. I just want a clean break, no hard feelings. I hope we could be friends and maybe get together on Christmas time or something. So Pseudo, do you kind of know where I'm getting with this? I'm going with,
Think of the children, Steve.
Well, I have thought about the children, but really, I'm not a big fan of kids. So.
No, I meant the clown car posse.
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, I give me this with consideration. I understand they're in a fragile emotional state. The parents separating and they don't know what to do. But I think they'll be able to carry on. I mean, I already separated from Veronica, which was really difficult, obviously. We had a long relationship, and this is going to be a little even more difficult because, well, G-Man's always kind of had a special place in my heart. The fact that he's just so adorably wrong, it's kind of a little bit emotional, and I'm sorry, I don't want to tear up right now, but I think the Clown Car Posse is going to have to get along without me. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I know it's going to be rough. Hilarious. You want to come in here? See, Ed here says, but Steve, this is madness. You and G-Man are so similar to each other. I know we have a lot in common. I mean, people get us confused all the time. This is kind of like, getting Dr. PZ Myers and Landon Kurt Knoll confused. People get me and G-Man often confused. I see similarities there. I get it. We talk alike, we look alike, we act alike. We have a lot in common. But I think that I need to move on to greener pastures. Yeah. You both think the other one is stupid. Well, no, I don't think he's stupid. I think he's completely mentally retarded. Stupid people are just kind of dumb. G-Man, unfortunately, is just completely mentally retarded. So I don't want to insult stupid people, but I think there's a little bit of difference there.
No, Steve, you can't insult stupid people because stupid people don't realize they're being insulted.
Sometimes. I mean, if you don't know you're the dumbest person in the room, then you definitely are the dumbest person in the room. But I mean, G-Man's been saying some crazy shit lately, and I'm concerned for his sanity. That's why I think we need to separate. He said, quote, "I will take away your freedom of speech as quick as I need to." Now, is that like an Islamic thing where they the wife can't speak in public, or like the women can't speak in churches for Christians? I mean, he threatened to take away my freedom of speech because he thinks that because we have this weird codependent relationship that he can silence me. Is that what it is? I'm asking you a question.
Oh, I really don't know. I wouldn't know how to answer that.
I'm just guessing here. And then he's saying, let's see what else is writing here. Oh yeah. For some reason he thinks that I'm vindictive, that I want to snipe his hangouts. No, G-Man, I've never sniped your hangout. Never wanted to snipe your hangout. After this breakup, I'll never snipe your hangout. I want him to have a channel. I want him to grow and have people watch his stuff. Go watch G-Man's videos. I'm all for that. It's content for everybody because we can all laugh together and remember the good times, right? No, I'm not wearing a burqa in this relationship, but thank you, Ad Harry. No, I'm not Muslim.
I don't think Steve's ever worn a burqa, yet alone any kind of head covering like a hat.
I wore a hat in the Navy. Yeah.
Is it a hat or is it called cover?
It's called a cover.
Yeah.
Yes.
So technically, you still haven't worn a hat.
I've tried on a 10-gallon hat. It's not my thing.
Yeah. You're more of a 9-gallon head?
Pretty much 8.5.
Yeah.
Tyler says he thinks freedom of speech means the ability to comment on YouTube videos. It makes me wonder if he even knows things like Netflix. Yeah, no, your ability to comment on a YouTube video has nothing to do with your freedom of speech. We are on a platform that YouTube owns at their whim. They can change their mind anytime or change their rules. We have no say in it whatsoever. We are limited in what we can say as far as even in videos and in comments. The freedom of speech actually goes toward redressing of grievances with the government without reprisal in America. What are you sucking on?
Nothing.
You are sucking on something.
I'm not sucking on anything.
You're sucking right now.
No, I'm not.
I know what a sucking sounds like. Are you vaping?
No.
Weird. I have this
weird.
All right,
just for the audience watching at home, Steve knows what a sucking sounds like because when he sleeps, he sucks his thumb.
No, well, no. I mean, I was with Gman for how long?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you're just breathing hard.
Maybe. Oh no, there's a fan. There's a fan behind me. That might be it.
Oh,
if it's whirling, and then it might be hitting the mic slightly in the room.
Oh, okay. So it's not even. I'm sorry. It's not a sucking sound. It's a blowing sound.
Yeah, but it's a repeating sound. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I know more about sucking than blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's official then. Steve's a bloop head.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you sit around listening to radar and sonar all day.
Oh yeah, like the M114. Or no, that was a torpedo system. Yeah, I forgot the sonar. The M55 Bravo. Which I think it was 55 Bravo. Or no, that was a radar. Yeah. Oh my God, it's been so long. Link to get in here is at the Great Debate Community. Go find it. Get in. There it is. I just heard it. What's that? That whistle.
Oh, it was me just giggling.
That's not you giggling.
Look, it's only you and me in the room.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Because I only see two of us here.
You don't see the other people?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, no, there's no other people in here.
Told you.
So anyways, Gman really recently has been all up on my ass.
He divorced Gman, and then he took all the friends.
Yeah, that's the other thing we have to decide. He's really been up into my ass. With all these accusations, not giving evidence for any of them. I don't have the wherewithal to address any of them anymore. Honestly, I don't care. My channel's taken off in a completely different direction. I'm getting people like Dr. Bergman and maybe Humphreys. I'm still working on that one. He says he will, but then he's just kind of skittish. But I really don't have time to really go over every time Gman makes a video. Oh, Mac Revolution has no evidence. Well, Rational Mind and everybody else has given evidence for Mac Revolution. It's overwhelming. Allopatric speciation, peripatric speciation, sympatric speciation, all evidence for Mac Revolution, all observed. There's no discussion and no debate. Game over. You suck. Basically, Gman. Nobody cares. As far as the divvying up of friends, as long as I keep Tyler Durden and Red's rhetoric, I don't care. You can have the rest of you fucks. You're all can choose your side. I don't care. But Red's rhetoric and Tyler Durden are my men, and they can't leave me. Pseudo, who are you going to choose?
I don't know.
See, I'm a little hurt by that. That's okay.
On the spot here with that.
I know. I understand. I understand. There's some feelings there.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? You don't have. I tell you what. You guys don't have to choose. He's running a hangout later on tonight. I'm actually doing mine earlier. He's doing his around 7, I think. I don't know if that's Eastern or Pacific. If it's Eastern, then it's 4 o'clock my time Pacific. But still, that's way later than this particular hangout. Tyler says, "Was I really ever here at all?" No, Tyler, you were never really here for me. So maybe I should divorce you too. So much for emotional camaraderie and tribalism. That's okay. But yeah, anyways, I'm kind of serious here. I don't have the wherewithal to really address G-Man's bullshit anymore. I mean, this nonsense that he has with PZ, he couldn't get the guy's name right. He confused him with Landon Kurt Knoll.
What's he call him?
he called him PZ Meyer. Like every time, not just once, not just twice, but just over and over again. Then he spells it wrong. Oh, I got a marriage proposal in the live chat. Thank you. Wait says I'll marry you, Steve. Cool. Can we get a prenup that says I get half of everything as long as I'm making the marriage for more than like a day? That's cool. No, I'm not on the market. I already have a bromance going on with Ruif. Ruif flew down from Australia to come visit me, and we hung out together. It was a cool bromance. We drank together and played pool. He kicked my ass 3 times. Yeah. No insulin stalker. You're not going to play with my. Yeah, no, you're not. No, that's not happening. I have some really perverted people in my live chat that watch my channel. Really, I like it. All right, come on in, people. It's open. Like I said, the link, Great Debate Community. Matter of fact, just for shits and giggles, because I don't care if I get sniped, because this isn't really that important of a hangout. It's basically me telling Gman, I don't give a shit about you, Gman. Just understand that I don't watch your stuff. I don't really care. I watch like 5 minutes of it and I move on with my life. It's just nothing of interest to me on his channel anymore, except when he does the Black Hebrew Israelites. I think he does a okay job on that. Okay, that's the link to come in. Okay, it's in the live feed. Come on in. Geo says, what about the Hovind Crocoduck debate? That has been moved to another time. That is now August 11th. I think it's still 5:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Central. Glad you asked. It was supposed to be today. That it was supposed to have been a week from today. Now it's been postponed again. Various reasons. So, Insolent says, I'm at work. My co-workers love your channel, by the way. Oh, thank you, Insolent. That means a lot. Can I ask what your co-workers do without getting too much detail? You know, I'm kind of curious. Sokka, my friend. Sokka, do you still love me after all this if I leave Gman?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I didn't realize that you guys were in a relationship, and I kind of feel bad because I thought we had a thing.
Well, I've been meaning to tell you, man. I wanted to tell you. I've laid awake at night thinking how I'm going to break this to you, but I got to do what I got to do. You understand? I mean, this is my life that we're talking about, and as much as I adore you, Sokka, I think that the distance being further, because you're Canadian, is a little bit more. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. I think we have cultural differences.
Yeah, definitely. I understand that. Yeah,
I've never had poontang.
Poontang. I've never had poontang.
Poontang. No, I've had poontang. I've definitely had poontang. I haven't had poontang. So yeah, it won't work.
Oh well, you know, we'll always have the spring.
I think it was a summer, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of somebody different now.
I think it was somebody different. Yeah, but you know what? That solidifies my wanting to not be in a relationship with you. So
there's a lot of hands up this puppet.
I'm sure there's been a lot of hands up that puppet. I mean, that sock has been well used, no question about it. But anyways, did you watch any of Gman's stuff? I mean, again, I want to leave with a good memory of all the fun times we've had.
I just want to point out that there actually is a part of that video where he walks outside of his place of employment and says, "Okay, let's go find a child."
Dude, that was creepy. Okay, I mean, sweaty, out of breath, black man on the streets of New York looking for a child. What could go wrong with this, guys? What could go wrong with this?
I saw that. I'm just like, oh, geez, G-man, you're gonna get yourself fucking in trouble, man.
Is he so socially unaware? No, he even said it. I gotta go find a child. I'm gonna ask him if he's related to a monkey or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out and find a child.
I'm gonna go out and find a child. I'm like, G-man, no, just don't. I just don't want to see him get in trouble. But that was funny. The amount of oblivious things he has to like social norms. Wow. Or normative ethics, I guess. Oh God, yeah. You don't go walking down the street looking for kids. It's just, especially in New York, you know. And if you did, why would you ask them such a weird question? I don't know.
Hey, you believe you're a monkey? Like, I don't know. Like, where'd you go?
Are you your own god? Are you your final authority?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what he does. Probably something along that line.
T Diesel says, Steve, you need to make a video with clips of G-Man in it while playing in the arms of an angel. You know what? Don't give me any ideas. Well, you know what's funny? G-Man just said today, he's like, well, you know, when did Steve ever put his own content up? I'm like, all the time. I mean, he even watched my video about G-Man being a liar, where I took, you know, clips and put them together and, you know, explained that I've never said that if you accept a deity, you can still be an atheist. That's my own video. He never even addressed it, but he saw it. You know how I know he saw it? Because he was bitching a drag about it. Eric's like, I can't quit you, G-Man. Oh, I can quit, G-Man. Yeah. But I will. But see, what the reason why G-Man still holds a special spot in my heart, you guys may not know this, but one of the very first hangouts I was ever in was G-Man's. I mean, I was in Nadia's first. She was actually the first hangout I've ever been in. But as far as like getting involved in the great debate community like this, it was in a hangout with Paul's Ego and on G-Man's channel. And he was actually civil. Yeah, he wasn't too bad. He actually gave people time to talk. I think what's happening now is that I think Vincent Jones is right on this, that because G-Man went to New York and visited with a bunch of people, right? He visited with J.D. Kane and Dragnon and Fiona and MP, and he realized that these are normal people, I think. I think he realized that these are good people, and he liked them. Now that he's away from that environment again, he's back home, as you will, he has to put on this front again. And I think he has to go overboard to try to distance himself from the feelings that, hey, you know what? These people were not out to kill him, as he was suggesting prior. He did say that many times. He really thought these people were trying to kill him. And I think that it kind of fucked with his head. And so I think that now he's just doing all these bizarre things and saying all these bizarre things to try to distance himself from that emotional connection that he had with these people. And I get that in a way. I do. But I have to distance myself emotionally from him as well. So
that's you get that? Because that makes no sense whatsoever to me.
I get it from G-Man's perspective. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't get it from a rational perspective. I get it from G-Man's. G-Man's worldview is based upon the WWF fighting style, right? Everything to him is an event. Everything to him is a challenge. Everything to him is a perception of his superiority to be better at something than somebody else. And he wants this to be a competition of sorts. Matter of fact, you know, he said that my channel would be off air within a year. Obviously that didn't happen. Actually, my numbers doubled. He wanted that to be a competition. Dude, I'm not in competition against G-Man. I'm in competition, if anything, against myself, right? Because I have goals that I've set. G-Man doesn't understand that. And so to him, in his mind's eye, all these people that he met were competitors of his. And he realized he had an emotional connection to them. I think it scared him. And now he's kind of being just a dumbass to all of them and kind of a jerk. I mean, he talks to Dragnon and Dragnon tries to be civil and cordial and explain things to him. He doesn't even listen to him, you know. And G-Man's in the live. I don't need a vent, G-Man. I realize that it's over. You know. But, well, G-Man's like, I would too if I was irrelevant. Well, you are irrelevant, G-Man. And let me clarify what I mean by irrelevancy. In this scientific arena, you're irrelevant. Your understanding of macroevolution is irrelevant because you don't understand it. You don't even remotely get it. You have a straw man version of it, right? Nobody wants to argue against an effigy of your own making. It's a waste of time, right? And so when you ask for evidence of macroevolution, which, by the way, G-Man never watched the debate that I had with Wayne Fillmore on this very topic, and then says, oh, well, how come nobody ever debates macroevolution? They're all scared to. What was my first debate? Oh, it was on macroevolution. What happened? Wayne left Young Earth creationism because he realized I was right. Macroevolution is observed.
Way to go, Steve.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And he wasn't the only one. Hunter Bailey, another one, who's also was in the live chat earlier, you know. But the evidence given was allopatric speciation and ring speciation and some cladistic modeling. Gman has never even addressed any of that. If he asks for evidence and somebody says, okay, here's the evidence, such as the Ensatina salamander, which is part of a ring network, right? And that ring speciation is part of allopatric speciation, which by definition is macroevolution, then he's not really interested in the topic, even in learning anything, because he's never, ever tried to counter that. But there is no counter because by definition, allopatric speciation is macroevolution and allopatric speciation is observed. Now, he doesn't even have to know what that is because he doesn't, but he's never even looked into it, right? You know. Oh, you know, this is another good point. I'm monologuing here, but hey, it's my divorce. So, by the way, hey, Carrie, how are you? I actually found something really cool today. Are you there here, Carrie? No, maybe not.
Yeah, I am, but it keeps giving me this error message every time I try to talk. Something pops up on the screen saying there was an error loading your app. I don't know what's going on.
At 5. Let me see if I can find this quick. I found this really cool thing today, and I actually downloaded it because he said, "Why don't you admit that atheism is a religion? Is it atheism religion or evolution is religion?" What do you say in the live chat there? I gotta go back and look now. Gman says, where? Dang it! Just admit it's a religion. I don't know if he's talking about evolution or atheism. I guess he's talking about evolution, right? So I actually found what the conditions are to be a religion, and I downloaded it. Let me see if I can find it again. Here you go. So let's go over these things. You guys want to go over these real quick? Say yes.
All right,
Yes.
sure, let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I don't care.
That was awkward, wasn't it, Sokka?
Yeah, that was awkward. Yeah. You guys are really not taking this divorce well, are you?
I find it really hard to believe that you were probably one of the last people that thought that Gman had something worthwhile saying.
Yeah, we're kind of like, you know, in shock. It's been so long, your relationship with you and between you and Gman, and then to watch it just completely fall apart now so suddenly.
I think maybe we can try again in after some time has passed, maybe like
so maybe not a divorce, maybe like a
separation.
A separation.
Maybe.
Yeah, trial separation.
I mean, I'm always gonna love G-Man, so I don't know. But all right, so let's look at these 9 religion family traits real quick. Yeah, I know you can't see it, but that's okay. So the first one, and you guys tell me if evolution has anything to do with any of these. These are the 9 things for a religion. Okay, ready? First one. Belief in supernatural beings. Yay or nay?
Well, that rules out Buddhism.
Yeah, that's well, not all sects of Buddhism. There's some sects of Buddhism.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, and it's
talking about evolution, not Buddha. No, evolution. It's evolution as far as religion. Belief in supernatural beings.
Okay.
Well,
so,
you do have that Darwin guy.
Yeah, Darwin was Darwin was made up. He's a fictional character.
Oh, you know, I guess if you you kind of edify Darwin as a god, if you're an evolutionist and you put him on a pedestal, maybe. Okay, maybe. Yeah. But since he's not supernatural, can't really give.
Well, he is, because he transcends us and lives forever now in evolution heaven. And every single day on Darwin Day, we sacrifice a bunch of finches to him.
Don't forget a Galapagos turtle.
Yes, and the turtle.
Only because they're delicious.
Okay, so believe. All right, so I can't. I'll go with that one. Belief in a supernatural being. Darwin is, a deity worthy of worship. Okay. A sacred versus profane distinction.
Sacred verses. Is evolution have sacred verses? Well, I guess. What's the theme song to Pokemon? Is not that would be it, right?
I don't play Pokemon.
I know the Digimon theme song, but that's
kind of evolution too, right? That could be a sacred verse. I mean, we just make it up. Does it actually have to be a real sacred verse, or can we just
no?
Can we come up with one now?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It says a sacred versus profane distinction. So if you can come up with one, hey, that's 2 things that make evolution.
Well, evolution has its book. You know, it's got the origin of species right there.
That's sacred text.
That's its holy canon right there.
That is sacred text. All right. 2 things. You're right. Evolution, so far, it looks like a religion.
Yeah.
Ritual acts. I'm sounding like G-Man. See, we've been together so long. I can't even pronounce certain words anymore. You know, ritual acts focused around the sacred.
Yeah, I got a ritual axe.
That would be growing peas.
Growing peas.
Growing
Yes.
peas.
To see which ones are yellow and green and which ones have lumps on
That's
them.
more mentally
no
and
lumps on it.
that's more mentally in genetics, but I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
sure.
still part of it's basically the New Testament. Origin species, like you have origin of species, which says something's going on, and then this says, "Haha, this is how it happens."
There, that makes sense. I concur. I concur with Pseudo on this one.
Except you have to read it in the original German. None of
But
this
the holy
translated crap.
sacrificing of the finches.
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah, exactly.
the holy sacrificing of the finches is most certainly a ritualistic act. Come on.
No, that's like a weekend activity. That's a get together thing.
It's ritualistic in nature.
Well, it's more of a social event, really.
It's kind of okay. So
no, Sokka. That would have to be a pea soup social. What do you think? Now you've grown all the peas. What do you think you're going to do with them?
Sorry, what are we talking about again?
Whether evolution is a religion. So far, three reasons, as I guess it is. This was a tough one, though. You're gonna okay? Ready for this one?
Oh, I bet we can do this one. Too.
All right, ready? A morality grounded in the sacred.
Yeah, we're just animals.
We are just animals. You hear this? We are animals. Ergo, our morality is grounded in the fact that we're just simply animals.
Yeah, sacred animals.
Sacred animals.
That's pretty humbling there, Sokka.
I know. That's what I was shooting for.
I mean, that really puts you in perspective with the rest of the cosmos, doesn't it? It really does. Makes you think.
That's why it's perfectly okay for us to throw feces at each other.
I was wondering why I was slinging poo more often than usual lately.
Yeah,
I guess I realized that, you know, as being an animal and being morality grounded in sacred things such as the origin of species, I can just throw poo around without, you know, recourse or care. Okay. Number 5, characteristically, religious feelings aroused by the sacred. That's the word they used here. Aroused by the sacred. I'm not making any reference to Catholicism on this, guys.
I'm pretty aroused right now. So
let's not go there. I'm not using your arousal as a condition for evolution being a religion. Sorry, I'm drawing the line on that one, Sokka.
Fine, whatever.
I tell you what. When you read Origin of Species, do you get a little erection?
I never get a little erection.
It's always
no, Steve. If you want a little erection, you have to go see the TJ.
Oh, that's not nice. Womp womp womp. What did TJ ever do to you?
He made that stupid video of sticking a banana up his ass and put it on the internet.
Oh yeah, that was it. Never mind.
Do you remember how many? Do you know how many people sent me that damn thing?
No,
I have yet to see it, and I never will. Thank you very much. I am a TJ butt version.
I did not give a care about the damn thing, and people kept sending me the fucking video.
I gotta stop drinking during the daytime, or drink more, one or the other. Okay, ready for the next one then? Prayer and other forms of communication with sacred reality.
Yeah, so what I do is I pray to the gods of evolution, and I keep a prayer journal. And they come back with either 3 responses: yes, no, or not yet. And pretty much it gets answered every single time.
Yeah, but I tell you what, if you pray to the gods of evolution that a pair of dogs can produce a non-dog, and it happens, you know, that would be pretty amazing. You should try that. Do it as an experiment.
Wait, are the gods of evolution like a trinity?
Yeah.
Dawkins.
No. You got Darwin, Lamarck, and Mendelssohn.
Oh, I always forget Mendel.
Yeah, Mendel gets kind of pushed by the weight side.
Yeah.
Actually, I learned a little bit about Mendelian genetics before I even knew what the hell evolution was. The link to get in, people, is at the Great Debate Community. Yeah, we've got like 100 people watching or some shit like that. The link to get in is posted. You can join us. Actually, you know what? I'll just post it right here. Come on in. Like I said, I don't give a shit. Okay, number 7. Ready for this one? A worldview.
A worldview.
Evolution, a worldview. Well, that's a given. I mean, I think that, of course, being an evolutionist myself, everything I do is through that mindset.
Yeah,
Whether
I
it be
mean,
looking at the stars, we
pretty
look at it.
much.
Yeah, I look at my penis and say, hey, you know what? Evolution.
I mean, pretty much every single action that I take on a day-to-day basis is has to do with my belief in evolution.
Oh shit! Did people come in? You gotta tell me if people come in here. I didn't know they're being in for broadcast. I'm tabbed out so I can read this.
Oh wait, this is a Blackjack reviews. Not that he's. I hear he's a theist.
He is a theist.
Yeah, we don't accept their kind here.
And he has a PhD, so we can't really accept him either.
Oh,
because,
he's one of those educated theists.
Yeah.
Oh
Just
shit.
slightly educated. Just slightly educated.
Okay, so moving on. So we do agree that evolution, obviously, worldview. We think about it all the time, 24/7. I go to bed at night, say my prayers, thank on God for evolution. Wake up in the morning.
I pray that I pray that I evolve wings so I can fly away.
Well, make sure first you have to wake up and you have to test the uniform of nature, and then jump off a cliff and then pray that you just sprout wings.
Yeah, I mean, because that's how it works, right? Or wait,
Yeah,
no.
evolution predicts that. You know, selective pressures. You have a
Yes.
downward vector because of gravity, unless you're a flat earther. And according to general evolution, right, which is I guess the new thing, general evolution, like special evolution, you sprout these wings and you fly because selective pressures.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Oh, should I just leave hog tie and broadcast? That would just be
Praise Darwin.
praise Darwin. Can I get an amen to Darwin? Amen. Hallelujah. Anybody?
I don't know,
Praise Jeebus.
I'm trying to think. Is there something different than amen we should say? Or for that? Like what's a good
Adaptation.
Adaptation.
Yeah, can I get an adaptation?
Adaptation, brother. Adaptation.
Ah, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Number 8, a relatively. I don't know why this says this way. I'm gonna change this because it makes sense. It says a relatively, but I think a relatively total organization of one's life based upon the worldview. So a total organization of one's life based upon the worldview. Yeah, I mean, that's all we talk about, evolution.
Yeah, pretty much. I
What would
mean,
we do without it? How could we live without it?
I don't know. I mean, like I know that I'm out on the street corner every Friday, preaching evolution. It's pretty much what I do all the time.
I mean, we've all had sex and during coitus screamed out, "Thank you, Darwin," have we not?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I mean,
More than once.
Darwin. Yes. Number 9 and final last one. A social group bound together by the above. Oh, well, done. Done.
We're sitting in our church right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's self-evident. So yes, I think maybe Gman is correct. Evolution clearly is a religion by all 9 religious family traits that they call it.
The one difference is our religion is true.
And the Church of Evolution is not a building or a museum. It's us gathered.
It's the people.
Yes, it's the people.
We are the church. We speak in one voice because we're like a hive mind.
In that lull. So
It's not a church. It's not a religion. It's a relationship.
Oh, yes.
It's a relationship with reality.
That is true. It is a relationship with reality. Something that I think Gman has long since divorced himself of.
Speaking of strained relationships with realities, did you guys notice? And for those who've been following, my fascinations on the internet, sovereign citizens. Did anybody notice the post? I think Jade had put up a post yesterday, or might have been the day before. I just saw it last night when I got home, and apparently, Gman has a streak of sovereign citizen.
I did see it. However, I don't understand it. I don't know where he made this declaration of sovereign citizenship.
What was he being detained?
Well, he says was he being detained? Well, was he driving or was he traveling?
Yeah, I think it was traveling.
Yeah, I don't know how far it goes. It sounds to me like he's bought into the thing about that you don't really have to pay taxes. It sounds to me because it looked to me like because it was on a video discussing Kent Hovind and somebody had referred to Hovind as a felon, and they're like, well, no, he's not a felon. I don't know what they think the word felon means to say that Kent Hovind isn't a felon. Well, he's been convicted of a felony. You might think he was
45
wrongly
of them, to
convicted.
be fact.
Yeah. You may think he was wrongly convicted, but he was convicted. So he is, whatever. He's a convicted felon, whatever. And of course, this has nothing to do with any of his claims about, evolution or the divinity of Christ, or there having ever been an ice shell around the world. Like I said, nothing to do with the truth of any of his claims. But it is true he was tried and convicted for these felonies. But somehow they launch into, well, it turns out you don't have to pay taxes anyway. Taxes are totally voluntary. And I saw that. I went, what? Oh, so we're going into sovereign citizen.
Yeah, I did see a little notion of that. But yeah, no, somebody had actually pointed out where it gave empowerment of taxation, right? And then
it's well established. Yeah.
It's well established law. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well established. Anybody can look it up, but it's a persistent. Here's what I find funny about it: is that the Americans will say, "Oh, well, there's really nothing in American law that makes taxes come about." Well, you'll find there's some nutter in Manitoba that says the same thing about Canada. There's a guy in the UK that says it about the UK. There's a guy in Australia that says it about Australia. And in all these countries, it's very, very easy to trace where the legal authority for income taxes comes from. It's not a hard thing to do. The one thing that's a bit of a head scratcher is when you go, why do any of us have to follow any laws anyway? Like, I didn't sign up to follow all the laws of Canada. Right, but that's more of a sort of a legal philosophical question than it is anything to do with their claim, which is their claim is that just income tax is a voluntary system. Right, here's my question, and then I'll let you guys go. So when I saw that, so Gman now is challenging people to a debate on whether or not taxes are voluntary or required, and I'm wondering, should I pick up that challenge? Like, should I make this number 14 for when Gman and I are going to have a debate on some topic, and then he doesn't show for that one? Or
yeah, see, I'm okay with that. I find that to be an interesting topic. I think you and MP would be more than suitable for it, but we all know from experience that he backs out of this shit relatively easily.
It's very easy to move the goalposts on that too.
Move the goalposts.
Another thing he doesn't know what it means.
I just saw that post a few minutes ago. Why? Yeah, and I don't mind if Gman wants to point out fallacies like moving the goalposts, but why doesn't he learn the meaning of these phrases? Like, he just uses it.
You know why? Because his understanding of fallacious logic comes from Antonio Fletcher.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, that's just a argument ad fallaciism.
Argument ad fellatio? Yeah. It's an argument from fellatio. Well, there actually is an argument from fellatio. If some chick's sick of my dick, she's always right.
No, that's argument ad fellatioism. That's different.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Very convincing argument.
That is
very
convincing.
I was actually going to say something about the sovereign citizens. I would like to see that debate because
music.
Oh, sorry.
It's not music, Pseudo. It was just when Blackjack talks, it's almost angelic.
Oh,
yeah, he has these resonant harmonic frequencies in his voice. How do we have 100 people watching this right now? What is wrong with you people? Gman's going to get, you know what? Gman is doing a hangout tonight. Let's see what his numbers. I'm just curious.
No,
I'm not.
Okay, well, while you're looking that up, I do want to do, separate from this topic, but I do want to do a sovereign citizen debate, not debate. Do a hangout on sovereign citizen. There's a few different people I'm talking about who are interested in it, so it's going to be a mixture of, like, when people go, why do they say I don't wish to create joinder? Like, what does that mean? Or when the judge leaves a courtroom and they yell man overboard, or the judge has abandoned ship. I know this stuff. I love that stuff. So it'll be a little bit informative, but mostly it'll be playing short clips of sovereign citizens getting tased. So it'll be a mixture of informative and just the hilarious shit. So
you should make a video called "How to Get Tased," and then all it is clips of sovereign citizens pulling their crap.
I tell you right now, I would guess that Gman getting tased, if he pulled a sovereign citizen thing, would get like 1 million views.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask Gman, and in all seriousness, not to make fun, and to get these weird interpersonal things, when he picks up that little bit of sovereign citizen legal theory, how far does it go? Like, I didn't even know he thought that way at all. I thought Gman actually kind of understood how his country works to some extent. Well, mind you, this is also a guy that thinks that my country is part of his country, but whatever. Let's set that aside for the moment. But I want to ask him, okay, so you think that paying taxes is voluntary. Do you think it's all stopping for the police when they turn on their lights? Is that voluntary? Do you think that showing them your driver's license or having a driver's license is voluntary? Like I don't know how deep it runs. I don't want to assume that he believes all that.
I believe this. If you have a motor vehicle, you're required to have a license in your possession. Okay. However, if you're walking down the street, you do not have to show somebody your papers, which would be your license.
I get that, and I know you get that. What I'm saying is how far. Because I think we know these things. That's right. There is some liberty. The cops just don't walk up to you and demand your papers. But when you're operating a vehicle, then yes, they do. So we understand there are these limitations to freedom, and there's some responsibilities you have when you're driving a vehicle or running a business or you have employment. I think most of us get that. But then you've got a group of people who say, no, it's optional to pay taxes. No, it's optional to even file your tax returns. It's optional to put plates on your vehicle. Right? They'll say, oh, that's all optional. So now that I hear Gman say one of those things, that oh, yeah, no, it's just optional to pay income tax. My question is, how far does that go? I don't mean legally in your country. I mean, how far does that go in Gman's mind? Does he also think that you don't need, does he also think you don't need plates or driver's licenses? Like, what does he think? And I want to ask him. I think it's fascinating.
I do know we have a special name for those types of people. They're called felons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how deep it runs, but haven't we discovered before that whenever you have some kind of batshit crazy, it's always the tip of the iceberg.
It should be optional for the cops.
Always more down at the bottom. We figured this out every time.
Yeah, batshit always comes in threes.
Batshit runs deep.
Yeah, it should be optional for the cops to be able to help these sovereign citizens, because when their name pops up, it should say sovereign citizen next to them, and they go, you know what, should we come help them this time? Nah.
Well, actually,
they don't pay their taxes. They don't want help.
There's rumors of an ancient Nordic culture that used to work that way, that you were free to opt out of anything, and if somebody came and stole your stuff or murdered you, well, that's fine. You opted out. I do like what you're thinking about. What's interesting about that you say that, because just a few days ago, I was listening to a video. There are a couple of really famous ones of women who were driving down the road, and they're being followed by a police car, lights and sirens. And then they're sitting there thinking like, well, why is this police car following me? They have no business. They don't have jurisdiction. They're just, what do you call it? Like it's thuggery. They're just, trying to corporate and policy enforcers, blah, blah, blah. I'm not pulling over for them. Well, gee, he's still following me. And now he's following really closely and he's blinking his lights and everything. Well, I need help here. I'm going to call 911. And they call 911 and they talk to the 911 dispatcher and tell them, send the police, tell this guy to stop tailgating me and sounding his siren. Like, well, what is the logic in that?
Hang on. I'm going to play a devil's advocate here. There are some times where a woman doesn't feel safe being in a road, and they want to call and say, is this a real officer that's behind me?
Yeah, I know that's
okay,
fine.
but Steve,
that's fine. That's fine.
Hold on,
yeah.
Steve. That's a different question.
I understand that, but there's a relationship. There's an overlap
the vehicle
there.
Is in fact a police car.
Yeah, but there's overlap there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you honestly, if I were in that situation, like if I wasn't sure it was a cop, I would drive at a normal rate of speed to a police station. I understand, but I mean, we're not talking about that situation. I mean, what the situation actually is in both of those very famous clips of these women doing this is they know the person behind them is a cop, but they don't respect the cops. They don't think they have to stop for them. So they start shouting at the 911 operators.
Yeah.
And then when they get pulled over, there's one of these great channels that when they do these, they show the clips, but then they also do a little bit of research. And they actually will pull like the arrest report, or this person was found guilty upon plea, something like that, and they'll screen cap. So you'll see the crazy clip, and then the next frame of their video will be the thing, the paperwork. And one of those two women, immediately after they show her clip, the 911 call, then they show the dash cam video from the cop car, then they show the arrest report for the for driving while stunningly drunk. Like she was 2.5 times the legal limit or something. So my point here is when they're doing this and they're thinking, well, gee, should I pull over for that cop? They're drunk when they're thinking that. And their brain takes them to, well, I'm going to phone the police and ask for help because there's police behind me and I don't want that.
Yeah, that's
well, see, what they should do is with the piece of legislation of the posse comitatus is recognize that the highest law in the land belongs to the sheriff. So they should really drive to his place or call him.
The sheriff. When the sheriff is the only official organization, police-wise, that's mandated federally, right? For the, I think it was was it Posse Cubatane? Was it? But the Jefferson one is the only official one that's sanctioned, and I can't remember the doctor. Was it Posse Cubatane? Posse Cubatane says you can't use military action on American soil.
No, it means a problem-free philosophy.
It's really bad when
get that.
No, that's was it
Hakuna
Hakuna.
What a wonderful phrase!
Yeah, what a wonderful phrase. Yes.
There was one thing I was going to mention, though. The calling 911 when you're being followed a cop is actually something you should do if for some reason you can't pull over at that time. Because I just know, about 12 years ago or something like that, a friend of mine lights came on. He's being followed by a cop. He calls 911 and says, "Look, I can't pull over. There's no shoulder. I could get stuck in the mud. Tell this officer, here's where I am, and I'll pull over somewhere else." That is the only time that you can do that. But I think tell me if I'm wrong, but don't they say we're operating under admiralty law or something?
Admiralty law. Yeah,
Admiralty.
Admiralty or maritime law, they'll call it. Yeah. Well, I want to do a whole hangout on this stuff and explain that why they'll go into courtrooms and say, I'm here by special appearance order only, and I'm retaining all my rights under UCC 107. They say things like that. I've totally been following that stuff, and I'll do a whole hangout on that. Let me just say this in parting then, is that Kent Hovind, 100% guilty. Maybe he's turned over a new leaf and he's a good guy now. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but for all these Christian nutters that are saying that he didn't commit any crimes and did nothing wrong, Gman, whoever, if you want to have a debate about that, we can have that discussion because you're ill-informed, and I love talking about that stuff.
And there'll be video clips of people getting tased.
Yes.
So
yeah.
My history is full of these sovereign citizens. I brought this up like a month and a half ago, and everyone said it wasn't a good idea. Jeez, you guys suck.
Well,
just remember, if you have this hangout, Hogtie, have it on your own channel. Don't fall into this. Gman's trying to drum up views for his channel. We all do, and I get that. No, not faulting him at all. We all do. I mean, I'm happy when I get 100 people like watching now, whatever. I drop down a little bit, but the way he goes about it, he's doing it in a very strange way. He's just soliciting drama, right? And he's going, actually is worse than him is True is going around asking people to have chats now. And the people he's asking are like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
They're like,
I saw
no.
one today, just like, what is the point of that? Yeah. Well, so to clarify, I was talking about two different types of hangouts. One is I've been very seriously thinking about doing this very fun and yet sort of informative sovereign citizen hangout or free man. There's a slightly different thing, but whatever. And I've talking to a few people about setting that up. If I were to do it, I'd do it on my own channel with proper promotion, so it doesn't just sort of spring up, like people would know to tune in at a particular time or send questions ahead or whatever. Or I might do it on the Mischievous Heathen channel. I'm trying to talk to them about maybe doing a Heretical Weekends episode with that on it, because they always find the crazy shit on that show. Or both. We'll do it on mine and then go with theirs and kind of laugh about some of the stuff, because the shows are pretty lighthearted. But then the other thing I mentioned was I just saw last night that G-Man's challenging people to debates on whether you have to pay taxes and whether Kent Hovind's guilty or whatever. I'm sort of wistfully waving my hand saying, yeah, what the heck, I'd do that debate. I'm not really serious about that. And no, I wouldn't go to his channel to have a debate with him, right? There's just no point in that. But I don't. It won't happen. Put it that way.
But I don't understand what his argument is. Look at it. If you're a convicted felon, meaning that you've been found guilty in a court of law, you are a convicted felon. Whether you did it or not, it makes no difference.
No. That only applies if you recognize the authority of the United States, because we all know that the United States is really just a legal front, a legal shill front for the Zionist agenda in the world.
If that was the case, I wouldn't have a record.
It depends if it has tassels on the flag or not. You gotta look for those tassels.
That's the Jolly Roger. That's the Jolly Roger.
So.
Yeah, if that was the case, I would have had my
Steve,
record expunged.
Steve, when you were in the Navy, did the flags have tassels?
You know what? I don't even remember. I think so, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're on the water, I think it do.
Yeah, I think the ones on ship did, but I don't remember.
But it has nothing to do with, like, here. What's bad is the supreme. What is it? The sovereign judges. I mean, they just like You say some oath, and all of a sudden you're a sovereign judge. And then they go and actually put liens on the real judges' houses for like $1 million, $55 million. And it messes with them. Because $75, you can put a lien on anyone, you know?
But isn't it kind of satisfying to watch these people get their quote unquote comeuppance and shit? I mean, I like watching them get smacked down. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make me like more like immoral or something?
No, not at all. I love that girl in the car. And she's like, article of pursuant 7, whatever. You cannot touch me. And he rips her out. Don't touch my bag.
Rape!
This is rape. This is rape.
That's one of my favorite ones.
You're raping me. You don't even know your own laws.
You're in such trouble. You
I,
don't
I,
even
have
know.
I just got something here to ask Sokka. Hey, Sokka, when these sovereign citizens all claim that, that these laws don't apply to them and whatever, does that mean the policeman can say, oh, you're right, that means illegal search and seizure, I guess, doesn't apply either?
Ooh.
Oh, one of the
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the first,
I guess police brutality doesn't apply either. Then,
but I think illegal search and seizure applies regardless if you're an American citizen or not. I mean, it's anybody on the soil.
Yeah,
no, the point is they say that these laws don't apply to me. Well, then I guess the things that protect you from what the police could or could not do to you don't apply either.
They do. Okay, find that clip of the woman. I know which one you're talking about, where she goes, she's got that whiny voice, and she's like, he already told you he's an Article 4 sovereign citizen, right? And then later that blossoms out into, I'm not getting out of the car. Okay, I'm going down the road.
Yeah.
And then they have to fight over, you have to give me the bag. I'm not giving you the bag.
Yep,
you can
that's in my
handcuff me with the bag
favorites.
on. Okay, if you listen to that one, go back to the very beginning of it where she first starts talking to the cop. So it'll start with the words where she says, he already told you he's an Article 4 sovereign citizen. Go forward about 20 or 30 seconds from that. She will say, we are sovereign citizens, and that means that we have all of the rights given to us under the law, but none of the laws apply to us, or something like that.
Exactly.
Their honest belief is that all the police officers work. The power shift is the other way. So they all work for us. The law gives us rights. I'm sorry, that's wrong. The law doesn't give us rights. God gives us our rights. Just being a natural-born human, we have these rights. So we have all these rights, and we have no responsibilities or obligations under the law, save for those obligations we adopt when we enter into a contract. That in summary, is their legal theory.
That's why they don't want to do a joinder.
Where is Article 4?
Articles of Confederation.
Yeah, don't you know?
United States of America. Let's back up a step.
Yeah,
Articles
of a country that he doesn't live in.
Right.
You learn that in the classes called civics classes, which they don't have any longer.
Yeah, they don't have civics anymore. No.
Well, Pseudo wouldn't have taken your civics class.
Yeah. See, when you say Articles of Confederation, I'm thinking 1867 here.
Yeah.
And like, okay, we have
what's
to build a railroad.
1867?
Yeah,
there we go. What's 1867? All right.
Yeah.
1867 is when the greatest country in the world was created.
Yeah, and that's when the history of the world started.
1981.
Yeah,
it's a gray area. Yeah, and actually, no, even that wasn't called the Articles of Confederation. That was what the hell was it called?
Confederation.
Yeah, the eventual document was the British North America Act.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean,
but it seems like decided to build a railroad.
I just remember the first Brexit was about 1776, the original one.
There we go.
Us exit, U.S. Us exit.
Yep. Anyways, I like that boyfriend in that video you're talking about. He's like, don't pay attention to her. You can just catch him saying, don't pay attention to her.
Well, you know, when you're with somebody, have you been, okay, I've had this happen when you're out driving, you're with a girl, and you know that they're going to make it worse. And you're just saying, shut up. Shut the fuck up. And you know they won't.
You know, especially if it's got a little bit in them.
It's, well, most of the time I hung around with drunk chicks. Yeah, it's just like, oh, God, just please ignore her. Don't
come on, Tony. Steve's standards are pretty low here. He is getting a divorce from Gman.
Oh, you're right.
So drunk chicks are a bit of a step up.
That is true.
Yeah, and I don't think it was mutual. I think G-Man ended it first, right?
You have your story, I have mine. Fuck you.
It was mutual.
You know, I've told you that it's not him, it's me. So what else does he want? Now he really thinks that his channel is so interrelated to mine, and I don't understand why.
He thinks it's popular whatsoever. I mean, I said in the comment, I'm like, I bet you don't even get 100 views on this video.
When's the last time he's ever got triple-digit viewers? I couldn't even imagine.
I was giving him more than he deserved.
A year ago, he would average about 40 to 50. Now he gets about 12 to 30, maybe.
Steve, if he does have one,
him and true.
Steve, why don't you go in there? Why don't you go in there and snipe him, Steve? Like I hear you do all the time. I gotta go, guys. We'll see you. You explain that, Steve. I gotta go.
What I don't understand with Gman is, and it's not just Gman. There's a lot of people out there, and I think I really first started questioning this with the lunatic space marine guy.
Ron
yeah, where it's like they are fully aware that the vast majority of their viewership are people that hate them, people that think that they're jokes, people that don't take them seriously, people that watch them because they expect them to say stupid things that they can laugh at. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but if I had a channel and I started putting up videos, and I kind of figured out that people were just that they weren't taking it seriously. People were just laughing at me. The majority of the comments were all negative towards me. I'd probably be like, "Fuck this! I'm getting out of here." I don't need this. I don't need to waste my time. Whatever. I don't understand why guys like Gman still make videos. I don't understand.
Yes.
Like why he carries on with this stuff.
Because they can't. I can tell you why. Because they can't get any positive attention for anything that they do in a positive sense. They're not funny. They're not educated. They're not somebody that people go, oh, okay, let's watch Gman and learn something.
They're not interesting enough.
They're not interesting, and so they're not personality types. And Gman wants to be. He has an alpha type personality. He wants to be like a wrestler, right? He has that outgoing, but it's just nobody gives a shit about it. And he tries to apply that to his channel, and it doesn't work. So he doesn't care people watching if they hate him, if they're hate subscriptions or not. He doesn't care, right? It makes no difference.
Yeah,
I care.
He might as well just go full retard. He might as well just go full lol. Call it Gman's lol hour or something. And just
you're always going to get hate subscribers.
You'll get a lot of people.
I think he probably would, but you're always going to have people that don't like your shit. Let's be realistic. Not everybody's going to like your shit. But if you get a vast amount of people, I say I got 100 people watching, and I say maybe less than 5 don't like my shit, I'm ecstatic about that. But somebody did ask a question. Nobody answered them about sniping. We got a lot of new people listening. Sniping is when somebody goes into a hangout and they can actually eject people without having mod control, including the channel operator, which means the hangout gets shut down because the channel operator can't get back in. Now, I thought they fixed that. I still think you cannot snipe the channel operator, but I have not done an experiment on it yet to test it.
I think people like Gman will snipe themselves or something. Oh, you can't do that, can you? It does tell you who sniped you, doesn't it?
It does tell you who's got sniped, right? But I see. But he was Jade. I'm glad you're in here because maybe you can elucidate this a little bit more. He had said something along the lines that Atheist had told him that I was planning to go over and snipe his hangouts.
Who are these atheists?
I know, right? It's like some infamous group, like the mischievous, or terrible.
Well, I think one of them may have been Walter Williamson, but that's neither there. But
and remember, Steve, just for everyone out there who's watching, if you're ever going to snipe a room, remember once you kicked everybody out, you have to yell "Hail Hydra." If you don't, you're just a dick.
And then say flat earthers are stupid.
Or you could actually read off Nestlig's prayer to Darwin. That's okay too. I heard. Did you guys see Nestlig's prayer?
I don't think I've seen that.
It's right here. Almighty Darwin, please let random mutation grant us the favorable adaptations and strike the unfit with natural selection. Amen.
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 Adaptation.
Adaptation. Natural selection. No, everything is just variety. In the creationist world, it's just variety. It's not adaptation of macroevolution. It's variety.
It's whatever wants to pop up, whatever wants to make its way through the world at that time can do it.
I don't know what that even means. What's a variety of kinds?
I don't know. Hey, I just learned that cicadas take 17 years to pupate.
Yeah, they got a weird life cycle, don't they?
Yeah, and then only 2 to 6 weeks alive. That's one heck of a wow. Better get everything you want done quick. You got a lot of time to think about it.
Party hard. That's a true YOLO right there, you know.
That YOLO saying, oh my god.
You only live once.
What is it?
Buddhist. Then you come back a few times.
Carpe diem for idiots. YOLO.
Yep.
Carpe diem for idiots.
Yeah.
Pretty much. For people that don't know Latin, yeah. Jade, can you hear us now? What is Jade and her internet connection? There we go.
There, Google shut down altogether.
Oh.
Google just closed on.
So you broke Google?
Completely. It wasn't the connection.
You broke Google?
Huh? I broke Google. I did.
So could you
but yeah, is it the very...
Can you tell us about this? Go ahead. I want to know how I'm sniping Hangouts now.
Okay. At the very Gman's latest hangout, near the very end, he says he's going to have a hangout tonight, and he's going to, I forget what it's supposed to be on, but it doesn't make any difference. I honestly wasn't paying attention to that. And then he said,
I wasn't watching at that point.
Yeah, and then he said, I'll even let Steve McRae in. And then he said, no, somebody told me he sniped. I don't know if he sniped somebody's hangout or something like that. But anyway, according to G-Man's little statement, is somebody told me he sniped the hangout, so no, I won't let Steve in. Now that's paraphrasing. That's not the exact phrase.
That's fine. But that's kind of similar to where G-Man wanted to debate me for that entire year or two. And I kept turning him down. I finally say, you know what, hey, G-Man, I'll debate you, but it's for charity for Gus. Okay, you do remember that, right? Because he offered me $1,000 to debate him. $1,000, and I turned him down because I have principles. Even though I could use the money, I just couldn't do it. I just felt really sleazy. Plus, I don't think he has $1,000 anyways. But
yeah, you would never have got it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have settled out of court for pennies on the dollar. So, but I didn't mind saying, you know what? I don't like to debate, but for Gus, I will do this. I'm okay with that. I think that was a great thing. Reason to debate, right? To have something for him, because I couldn't financially give something to Gus. I could do this for him. Now, he accepted, and then the next day said, oh, well, I don't really want to debate Steve because he doxed me.
Oh, yeah,
really?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
When did this happen? Now I don't care. His name's Gary. We all know he's Gary. He first got the community. He'd tell people to call his name Gary.
Yeah,
Whatever.
he did.
He did. Okay, so you can't dox somebody once they've given their name out. His name is out there. It's been on his PayPal. Anybody who doesn't know his name, you cannot dox somebody. And I never even called him Gary until after that fact. Just because
I don't know. I don't know if you remember, but long ago, Alex Botten, and this is funny. Okay, I think it was Alex that pointed out to G-Man that his name was his Skype account. His full name, first and last name, was his Skype account. G-Man said, no, it isn't. And guess what? It is. His name is his Skype account is his name. I think it like has a 1 after it or something like that, but it's, blank, blank, 1, something. After that, he claimed that Alex outed him, because doxed him by saying that. If Alex hadn't said that, nobody would have noticed that his name was his Skype account. I think it was also Alex who brought up the fact
idiotic. That's idiotic. Yeah, he doxed himself.
I know, and I think it was also Alex who pointed out to him when he did his race thing. He did his video saying, "Okay, guys, just go to this place and see how well I did on the race. My name is," and he gave his full name. Yeah. And again, he accused Alex of doxing him by mentioning that. All Alex was trying to do, especially in the first case, was to tell him, look, dude, you're doxing yourself. If you don't want to dox yourself, change your Skype name. Take that video off or whatever. But instead of realizing that he's trying to help him, he's trying to point out that you're doxing yourself, he goes and attacks. Maybe that's the inner solipsism of solipsism. When that.
He does all this.
Jade.
He does all this because he knows. He
knows. He's using this. He uses it as a weapon. That's all.
Hey,
he knows.
Steve,
yeah.
Have you ever wondered what the G in G-Man stands for?
I was going to guess Gary, but I guess
Think
I was
about that
wrong.
one for a moment, people.
Gullible, gerbil.
No, I think Steve hit it, but we're not going to say anything.
Well, it
We
could,
don't
well,
want to dox him.
it could also be Godman. She could be God.
That's what I thought it was the first time I heard it. So.
No.
Yeah, Rayard points out. Rayard is in the live chat. He is an ichthyologist. For that, you guys don't know biology. That's a person who studies fish. He says, "quote Yeah, this is from Gman. Humans have 43 chromosomes, but he wants to debate a PhD in biology. Yeah, that's it. He didn't know how many human chromosomes we had, and he guessed. He's like, it's something like 43 or 45. Both numbers are wrong for the fact that why do we have odd numbers of chromosomes?
Someone that stupid requires an odd number of chromosomes.
Properly. Oh my God!
It's
like,
46 with the remainder.
Careful there, Stuart, because people with Down syndrome have an extra chromosome.
Well,
that would make it an odd number.
Okay, that was me.
In G-Man's case, though, we'll make an exception.
Yeah, but people with Down syndrome aren't that dumb.
No.
I spent a long time.
They laugh at him.
Yeah, I spent a long time working with Special Olympics, and people with Down syndrome having Kruger problems. They know that they're not, intellectually the same as everyone else. They don't really care because they're happy and they're fine, But they know there's a difference between them and other people in the world.
But they have 47. It's not 45.
Yes, they do. But self-awareness, that's what the word I was looking for. They have self-awareness. G-Man does not.
And Jade, I will say this: if you're ever forced to take public transportation, like a bus system, and you get lost, go find the guy with the Down syndrome. He will damn well know where you're trying to get to and know how to get there on the bus.
I know.
You have too.
I know because I used to take the bus to school because why bother with parking if I could get a free bus pass from school? So I did that, and it was more convenient. And yeah, see, I used to, like I said, work with Special Olympics, and I actually babysat for group homes. I kind of ended up doing that by accident because it turns out the group homes had trouble finding babysitters. Easiest freaking job in the world. You get paid, you get free food, and the people you're looking after are old enough to take care of themselves. Heck, they had to show me how to do some stuff. Like, okay, here's how this particular dishwasher works. It's a portable, and I'm just like, okay. They can take care of themselves.
Your job is basically make sure no one burns the place down and no one floods the toilets.
Yeah, except the thing is, they already know how to do that. But yeah, there are, if there's if there's an emergency, I would be able to deal with that better than they would, and that's about it. Except they all know how to dial 911, and they all know when to dial. So it's the easiest freaking job in the world. But yeah, they all know the bus system by heart. They know exactly where the transfers are, exactly where the times are. You're no kidding. That's absolutely true. Find someone with Downs and say, "I'm lost. I need to get to."
You're gonna want to take the 2 to the north 7 and 7. You want to
Tony, no, they'll go further. They'll give you the time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the name too. John's gonna be the bus driver that day, so you want to say hi to John. He likes
they will. Yeah, exactly, and they will walk you to the proper bus station. So you make
happy
they will make
it makes me jealous because they're always
happy.
Jealous.
Yeah, and they will make sure you get on the right bus. They will wait with you until the bus comes. They'll say, no, remember, you have to transfer to the 10. They'll go to the bus driver. Remember, George, make sure they transfer to the 10. Yeah. They know all the bus drivers. It's like, that's what exactly. No kidding. And yeah, the helpful, kind, wonderful, funny G-Man. I almost said his name.
Exactly, and they all have girlfriends and boyfriends too. Which
they do. I have a friend that I went to high school with who just showed pictures of her daughter's birthday. Her daughter's developmentally disabled. She doesn't have Downs. Excuse me, but her boyfriend does. So she's had this boyfriend for a very long time. So yeah, they all have boyfriends and girlfriends, and they bowl and they go to dances and
they beat me bowling too.
No, and they're pretty good.
G-Man is single now because of a divorce. So, hey, ladies or men.
Yeah.
He's all yours.
Yeah.
Have at it.
I don't think he's ever had a. Other than you, he's been lonely his whole life. No, he said God. Never mind.
He said God. Yeah, Jesus has comforted him.
Yeah, his mind just runs on at high speed, which I understand. I'm really hyper. I have I can't even think of it. Squirrel.
Yeah.
ADHD. I have ADHD, and so my mind runs like that too. The thing is, I can control it. His is like a runaway train. My mind just runs really, really fast. His is a runaway train.
Yeah, and his body limbs are animated too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it hits everything in sight. And you know the train problem? Gary's train splits into two and kills everybody.
Yeah. And then whoops back around.
In the trolley problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the trolley problem. Well, yeah, some people call it the train problem. But yeah, Gary's splits into two and kills everybody. And then somehow magically merges and takes out the countryside.
He's kind of a scorched earth kind of guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
His train splits into two and then hits nobody.
So his wave function collapses and he forms two distinct. Oh wait, never mind.
No, you know what? He's Schrodinger's. Wait.
See, the problem, Steve, is to make the trolley problem work, you have to observe it.
It's funny. I'm trying to have this hangout with Quester next month or so, and I know General wants to have it, and I've been trying to get a handle on tensor mathematics lately, and Einstein's field equations and stuff. God, I don't understand how people learn this shit. I just want to understand it decently enough. I've looked them over before to where we can have a conversation on General's level, and I'm realizing there's no fucking way. No, I understand the concept of tensor mathematics, but that's just basically saying I know algebra uses pluses and minuses and things like that, right? I mean, I only understand the concepts. I can't work with any of these types of well, they are matrices, but I just can't do any of that. But God, I want to be able to learn to. So I'm kind of brushing up on that, learning it, but it's some hard shit.
Well,
yeah, I can't even spell it. No.
It's one of the things that
MATH. Sorry, I was just kidding.
Got it.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is what makes it so hard for me to recommend something like the Feynman lectures, because they're trying to to make it understandable to the layperson. He tries to interpret things too much for my personal liking. To me, the formalism, the mathematical description is quite enough.
You think it's lost when he tries to make it into a more palatable means?
It's not. No, it's not. It's not lost. But I think whenever we do try to put it into terms we understand better colloquially, we run the risk of, interpreting more into it than we can say with confidence.
Oh, by the way, we did had 100 people. Hi, Luna. Luna's in the live chat. Everybody wave hi to Luna Saxton. If
Hi,
you guys don't know
Luna.
who she is.
Hi, Luna.
She does some very nice poetry over on Pimp Monk's channel. So,
I was gonna say, I don't know if you've read how much you know about Feynman, but he used to go over to this was a strip club, where he'd have lunch and stuff, because he was quiet. He liked it there, I don't know if you've read about that.
it doesn't sound like me. No.
Okay, well, anyway, yeah, so he did, and people would. He also used to go out in the woods and play bongos, or not the woods, but out in the desert and play bongos. Really interesting guy. But so when he was at, when he was in California, he would go out. He liked to go to the strip club, because during the afternoon it was actually fairly quiet and dark and comfortable. It wasn't, that wild like in the evenings. And I remember mentioning this to my dad once, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I used to see him there all the time."
That would have been cool. Somebody suggested that.
My dad then had to say, "Oh, but I went there for lunch because they had great food." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, you went there for lunch."
Yeah, they got buy one get one.
I mean that was, of course, he was kind of tongue in cheek. Yeah, so my dad liked to look at ladies. I mean, big deal. My mom knew, she didn't care, But yeah, so my dad went to the same strip club.
Somebody suggested that we when we have that hangout, we get true empiricism and Gman in to help us with tensor maths.
Oh no!
I tell you what. I get anybody go ask him. Does he know the difference between a scalar and a vector, or scalar, vector, and a tensor? If he understands that, I will happily have him involved in the conversation.
I'm not sure I understand the difference.
If we do that, we get quantum eraser and a discussion about quantum
between
mechanics.
a scalar, a vector, and a tensor.
I'm kind of being tongue in cheek here, but
you study this. You study quantum.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there is a sense in which one can identify the things.
Well, I mean, I do know the differences. A tensor's hard to conceptualize visually, especially when you're dealing like in like 4 dimensions, right? A 3-dimensional tensor I can understand. I understand arrays and I understand what matrices are, so I got that down. But when I look at a tensor using like I and J, I understand the indices and I understand how it works, but I don't have a full picture of it. Does that make sense? I'm explaining really poorly, but conceptualizing it is difficult.
A physical quality by dimensional number. No.
Yeah, because you're just dealing with arrays, right? And you have your locations. Like many of us program, you have an array, so you start off a location like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, and the next one would be 1. The next row would be 1, 1, or 0. What would be 0, 1, 0, 2? The next one would be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and etc. But they're very. How to manipulate things are very, very, very.
Well, it looks like it's a line and 2 points coming from the line. And
see, Ober says though tensors are not. Ober says tensors are not really that difficult if you don't think about visualizing it. But that's my problem. I do try to visualize it. I like to learn concepts.
So in linear algebra, they tend to have a different notation. Like, they don't use indices so much. They understand tensors as elements of like a tensor product, and it's kind of like differential forms are a special kind of that thing. It's hard to explain in a sentence for someone who isn't himself very versed in it. So like, this is kind of new too. So that's difficult to hear. But
if we get more into math, we'll start losing everybody.
Do you know who Leonard Trammell is?
No.
Let's see, who else is he friends with? Well, he's a physicist here in Toronto, but he actually was at the Imagine No Religion convention, and I talked with him for a while about quantum physics, because there was a guy I was sitting with at the table who was just going on and on and on about quantum physics, and it actually prompted Lawrence Krauss to leave the table. So it was kind of nice this guy took over. But he basically said there is almost no physical way to imagine what quantum physics is in like a descriptive form that way. You either have to have the capacity to perceive it in mathematics, or you won't understand it. That was his explanation.
Well, think about it. I mean, if you have a complex conjugate, which obviously in Brockett notation, you run across those a lot in quantum, you have to visualize what's going on. You have to visualize. Yeah. I think so. I like to visualize things. That's how I learn things, right? And so if it's purely abstract, purely mathematical, I have a lot more difficult time understanding it than something that makes sense to me from a visual point of view, right?
I think that's normal, though. I think most of us deal with things not only based off of what we already know, we just add to the knowledge, but we have to picture it some way in our head so that it has a sort of shape. But the example he used, for example, was the universe is, 95% stuff we can't see or interact with. But 1 billion years ago, it was only 50%. And in that time, there hasn't been any more dark matter created. So if you can wrap your mind around that sort of concept, you understand there's no visualization that can occur to help you understand that.
And that might be true, but Brian just sent a lecture notes, a PDF on what's a tensor. And yeah, and I'm looking over this now, and this is, I'm getting about page 6 or 7, and I'm like, okay, this much I know. I know what a stress tensor is. I know what the array is. I know how to make the matrix. I know what an R3 is. That much I understand conceptually. It's working with the matrices itself, and then using shorthand notation. Like, for example, when using Hamiltonian operators or eigenvectors. I don't understand how eigenvectors really work. I don't get them. I just, they make no sense to me from a visual perspective.
Well, the thing about an eigenvector is that it fulfills the eigen equation, as it were. Like that's all there is to it, isn't it?
I understand they deal with well, you have an isomorph, right? Or you're changing you have an isomorphism. You're changing the relationship from somewhere to somewhere else in space, right? You're changing in your field, you're changing the direction with respect to something, and it creates a different way of looking at something, correct? You're mapping it differently.
Yeah, it's an endomorphism usually. Like, you usually map into the same set you are coming from. But yeah, and then you can solve the characteristic polynomial, and then you get your eigenvalues. And
well, like I said, one of these days we'll have that hangout, and I'm like I said, I'm brushing up on it. I'm learning some of that stuff. But so Gman says, Steve, you should debate yourself. You should debate yourself. That would be awesome. I don't know what I would debate myself on. I've already won 2 debates. I don't know what else I've got to do. I mean, Gman never listened to any of my debates. I not only won my debates, I crushed them.
Yeah, but so did Gman, don't you know? He wins every debate he ever has.
Clearly. Clearly. Yeah, hey Luna, what is Pimp Monk doing, man? Go find his pimp. You can ping him in for a little while. Pip's been really kind of just like bumming it lately. I kind of like I'll go over to watch some of his stuff, but he just kind of sits there and feels pity or something. I just like, come on, cheer yourself up, brother. Come on, and come to my hangouts. He just seems awfully down lately. I don't know. What are you doing? Holy shit!
I know someone sounds like they're not down there. Someone sounds like they're very much up.
You okay, Jay?
Yeah, you okay, man? Yeah, Gman, can you teach me tensor calculus, please?
Well, Steve, first you get a calculator, and then you get a tent.
No, tensor, not tenter. Tensor, like R3, you know.
Duh.
By the way, in the side chat, Steve, I put a picture of Richard Feynman's van and a paper doll of Richard Feynman, so you can, like, you know.
Okay. But by the way, I mean, Kirsten, I did take vector analysis. That was a required course in part of Nuke School is vector analysis.
Yeah, so but like this.
I did understand the scalar vector or scalar and vector from doing that, but we never got into learning much about tensors.
Yeah, because they're not part of vector calculus. They're linear algebra.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was linear algebra, right? And so we didn't get much into what I should have probably known better, although we did relate to it, because obviously if you have a neutron flux density across the core, that's going to be a tensor field. If you look at it from a three-dimensional perspective, the way the neutrons are being absorbed or not being absorbed throughout the core, that's all tensor.
I mean, if it's a field, how is it not a vector field? I'm not.
What's that?
You're saying it's like an.
It's a probability. It's a probability density.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. A probability density. That's just a scalar field, isn't it?
Well, no, because they're. Well, you know what, Hemi? Let me think about this. You're right. If there's no three components at each individual point, it wouldn't be a tensor, would it?
Even if
Tony, you're driving me nuts here, Tony. I don't know what's going on with you, but oh, so much better. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, no, it's okay. Well, it's not a scalar field. It's still a vector field because you have a directionality. The neutrons are going in a specific direction, so they have a magnitude and a vector.
Yeah, in that case, it's a vector field. Fair enough.
This would be a vector field. It wouldn't be a tensor, yeah, because a tensor field, that would be more if you had like a pressure that's exerting some directionality on an X, Y, and Z axis at each point, right? Or something that divides a deformation at each point.
Okay, I'm having difficulty like connecting this to tensors at all, frankly, because like your space is not discrete and not finite either. You have like a continuous space, so it's like if you want that to describe it as a tensor, like where you have like a matrix of vectors, if you will.
You've got a three-dimensional array, right? You have your X, Y, and a Z, and each point in that array would correspond to the tensor field. If you just had a two-dimensional array, you would only have X and Y with no Z component. If you only had a one-dimensional field, right, just a scalar, you would only have, for example, like 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. That's your one dimension, your R1. And then R0 would just be basically 1 point, one ubiquitous space, right? You don't have any subunits of it. It's R0. Am I not correct? So R0, you have one space. R1, you would have a linear, like a linear thing of cubby holes. R2 would you have a two-dimensional array, and R3 now you're just describing
like different dimensional metric spaces.
But that's what a tensor deals with, is multi-dimensional spaces like that, third and fourth dimensional arrays. How's it not? We'll have to figure it out.
We may be talking past each other, and we're certainly talking past everybody else.
Well, you know what? If we can get Ronnie in here, or somebody, Veronica, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to misappropriate her gender. I'm so sorry.
Veronica will tell us everything about the.
She would explain to us the tensor.
The diameter of the circumference of pi, and
yeah. I'll never know the answer to that.
Yeah.
She broke up with me.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
I know. Maybe that's why I'm breaking up with Gman before he has a chance to do it to me. Because I'm still reeling from being broken up with Veronica.
It hurts. It hurts.
You
gotta find solace in your friends.
Why not just call her Rhonda?
Rhonda's good too, actually. Rhonda's not bad. I don't know. Veronica just kind of stuck.
I didn't do it, Rhonda. Please believe me.
Yeah.
No one knows where that's from. Huh? You guys are geeks.
Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda.
That's more like it. Okay. Dave
there
Chappelle,
is that.
Guys.
Yeah, there is that lovely line. Get her out of my heart.
Get her out of my heart.
Yeah.
Well, no, it can't be any worse than the song that we were singing the other day.
Oh no, it couldn't possibly be. No.
You know how much shit I've been getting for that?
Are you singing it? I told you, once you hear this song, you will sing it at the most inopportune times. You'll be standing there in the bank, and all of a sudden you'll be like, I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to sing it.
No.
Yeah.
Someone
but I told you, once you've heard it, you can't unhear it. What?
Someone should do a video of Help Me, Rhonda, with pictures of true empiricism and some of his most famous quotes on the screen.
And people wanting him to help them with their homework or something.
Yeah, help me. Yeah. Well, it's help me, Rhonda, girl, get her out of my heart. So, that would be funny.
Yeah, you can just switch it to boy. You're okay.
Well, no, leave it a girl.
Yeah, I guess you're right. All right, I got the vector scalar definition down if anyone wants it.
Well, scalar is just a quantity without a direction, and a vector is a magnitude with a directionality, right?
So a scalar is a physical quantity that is represented by a dimensional number at a particular point in space and time. Examples are hydrostatic, pressure, and temperature. A vector is a bookkeeping tool to keep track of two pieces of information, typically magnitude and direction.
Yeah, magnitude is your length. Magnitude would be your number, and then your vector is your directionality.
It says the magnitude of the velocity is a scalar. What happens when we? Never mind. There's a bunch of stuff there. When we need to track?
Yeah, like for example, wind velocity is a vector. So if you look at a wind map,
Yep.
right, the miles per hour is your scalar quantity, but the directionality is your vector, and together they're a vector quantity.
It says we need a tensor examples for stress and strain. The tensor has 9 components. For stress, we keep track of magnitude, direction, which plane and component acts on. All right.
But the tensor for but I remember the tensor for deformation, for example, if you're going to have a 3-dimensional object and you want to see how it's going to deform, each point, right, is going to be moving in an independent X, Y, or Z direction, right, based upon the force applied at that single point across a field that's causing the deformation.
That's exactly
that's still a vector field, though.
That's not, no, I call that a tensor field. Am I not right? Because a vector field only has a directionality and a magnitude, but a tensor doesn't in 2 directions.
But it's a field.
A tensor is more of an advanced vector field.
What I'm saying is, like when I say a vector field, I'm not saying it's just one vector. I'm saying it's.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, of course. A tensor is a vector field, but just a highly more detailed one, because you got more directionality.
Yeah, it's
sure.
Right. It's
definitely a vector field.
You don't have like one direction. You would have to have.
Okay, that's why we were confusing each other and talking past each other.
Yeah, you get like where in a vector field you get, like, for every point of your space you get a vector as a function of that point, and in a tensor field you would have to get a tensor, be it a matrix or a higher dimensional tensor.
And I remember
sorry, I kind of phased out there for a second. We're talking about one direction now, because that's a topic I can get behind.
I remember that the product of 2 orthogonal vectors is 0. That I can't forget.
Well, that's the definition of orthogonal, isn't it?
That's why I can't forget. But that's one of those things you just don't forget, right? The product of 2 orthogonal vectors is 0. The dot product, but.
Well, I'm glad we figured that out. We get it.
But again, we'll get Veronica to help us out with this, because I do want to learn more about how you break down Einstein's field equations. I understand, like a part of it. I understand that one part of it's for the gravitational tensor of the field. One part of it is for mass. One part of it's for acceleration. But when you actually break it down, it's really interesting. Einstein's field equations are really amazing. But I want to actually learn more about them. I want to know why they work the way they work, and how to manipulate them and shit. Because that's the foundation for relativity.
Okay, how many viewers do we have now?
Pseudo, what are you doing?
He's either doing push-ups or he's
Zapping.
He's getting excited.
No, I'm relaxing in the chair here. I'm just laying back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I don't know.
Well, the window's open, so.
That's what they call it there.
We've
relaxing. Is that how we call it now?
We've lost 14% of our viewers.
Yeah, that's Canadian relaxing right there.
Yeah. Oh, Luna says she dropped the line. Thank you, Luna. Yeah, you come in, by the way, Luna. Yeah. But yeah, bring Pimp over. Pimp just seems like he's awfully lonely in his little room over there, and I want to cheer him up. He could pimp his channel out over here. I got like 100 viewers. He could come proselytize for his channel. I don't care. You guys don't know who? Do you guys know who Pimp Monk is?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
He's a comedian on YouTube.
He was on your show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he's been in a few times.
Yeah, and he started on.
Oh, that wasn't me. Who sniped Tony?
That would be his trailer park internet.
Yeah.
It was me, I admit it.
Tony, find a better McDonald's, man.
Can we just go to Burger King?
I'm going to a Yu-Gi-Oh game right now. I'm going to sell some of my cards, so I'll get better traction there.
You're going to go sell some cards?
Yeah, he's got to pay the rent.
150. Yeah, I got to pay the rent. I got like $150 worth of cards, and I got to flip them real quick. It's like 30 minutes. I get $150.
We've now lost 20% of our viewers talking about math.
Yeah, math and.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
No, I think it's because we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, which then turned into math.
No, we had 100 viewers. Now we have 80. So.
You're welcome.
No, I like talking about math and physics and stuff like that. I just wish, again, I just understood it as well as, other people. I don't. I want to, but that's the difference. I want to learn. I want to ask the people that know this shit and for them to explain it, right? That's the difference between like us and the Clanker Posse. They don't ever go to the experts and say, hey, you know what? I don't understand this. Can you explain it to me? They'll never do that.
They never go to Google.
Because they already know it, apparently.
I would love it if you did a series on math and physics and just announce it. Say, hey, this is, math and physics. Put it in your title somehow, so other people would show up.
I can do some of it, right? I'm not inept at mathematics. I did take it.
Yeah, so can I. But it's been a long time for some of this stuff, especially my physics.
I've been thinking about doing that for like a while, and never
Do you
get
speak
to it.
multiple languages?
Well, I think people, if they want to learn like maths through like something like this, it would be done on the Great Debate Community channel, right? The one I have open for everybody. Somebody who wants to do math stuff, be my guest. Do that. I would love that. But you'd have to start off somewhere. I would say around the algebra level at best, right? You can't just start with pre-calc.
Formal logic and set theory.
No, you're not going to start with formal logic and set theory. That's going to be too much for people.
But that's like. How do you get like any further without that?
Well, I mean,
I think it might be helpful if you actually did start with those two, and then if anyone had questions, you then covered them after. But those are actually two very good suggestions.
I mean, they're not bad. No, it's not bad, but I mean,
you have to get your definitions out. You have to start with some kind of framework to work from.
So start with like Peano's axioms and work your way up. It's like that's almost like a real analysis approach.
Oh yeah.
So explaining, what sets are, what like the real number line compared to like a projected line or complex.
Well, that depends what direction you want to go. Whether you want to go algebra or calculus or probability theory. It all starts with set theory.
Okay, well, like I said, if somebody wants to go to the Great Debate Community community page and do something like that, I'm okay with that. I could see them getting a whiteboard or a blackboard or whatever and just say, okay, look, we're going to start off with this learning how to do basic set theory, right? Yeah. I'm okay with that.
I'm just imagining Edgar with his PowerPoint presentation.
Well, he does know that he does have the real intelligence. But at some point, it would have to be, okay, this is how you do algebra. This is how you do all the way up to like simple derivatives. This is how you do a derivative. This is how you do an integral. This is how you do a differential equation. I can only remember how to do one different equation in my head, and that's only dy dx equals minus y over x, because it's a separable differential equation, which is not that hard. But other than that, I don't remember how to do them very much. Yeah, Brian says start simple. Yeah, no, I think so too. But again, anybody that wants to run that on the Great Debate Community, that's fine. Take it, do it. Have math classes.
There was a guy in a chat on the World Wide Web the other day who said that all of the universe could be described by as much as one equation, and of course he wouldn't provide it because he was full of shit.
Well, it's clearly Euler's formula.
No, it's not. It's not Morg. It was another guy. It was a guy claiming to be a quantum mechanics researcher. Don't you know? And so I asked him. I posted this equation. I posted in the chat here. D over dx f of x is e times f of x. Well, that's not the equation I posted, but I basically asked him what an eigenfunction would be to a one-dimensional total differential, first order differential operator. And he told me to contact him by email because he wouldn't answer something like that.
I don't even know what the hell you're asking.
Hmm?
I don't even know what you're asking.
I'm asking basically like the solution to this differential equation, but I worded it in such a way as to make sure that someone wouldn't know the answer just by looking at the equation, but rather would understand, like the terms is something that you learn pretty early on in quantum
Well, the
mechanics.
derivative of the function f of x is equal to e times f of x.
Yeah. So now what would f look like? And there's pretty much one way it can look.
I don't know. Can you do a Taylor expansion of that? That would be our. I could do simple Taylor.
I guess one could do that, but
I could do. See, I haven't done Taylor expansion in ages. Yeah.
like I mean, there is.
I remember the Taylor expansion for x. It was e to the x equals. It was e to the x equals x to the n divided by n factorial. That one I kind of remember how to do the Taylor expansion for that one. But anyways, we've lost half the viewers now. But anyways, it doesn't matter because I am bringing this to a close. I just wanted a quick hangout. I thought this was fun to tell Gman. I don't give a shit about him. Seriously, I don't care. I just don't. I find him to be a lulz cow. I'll watch his stuff occasionally, probably not live, of just bits and pieces. But other than that, I just don't really have any interest in anything Gman has to say. He has nothing to offer. He's not entertaining any longer. He's not educational. He's certainly a complete moron when it comes to macro evolution or biology whatsoever. He knows nothing. The fact that he thinks he actually got one over on PZ is comical because we all know PZ is correct. That's not tribalism. It's the fact that PZ Myers is fucking correct. There is no argument on chromosomal numbers.
And yet, on his tribe, everyone thinks that PZ was wrong. So.
Yeah, and all of them are idiots, and none of them have any kind of experience. You know, LeMay says, Steve, I thought you cared about Gman. Not really. I care about you, LeMay. LeMay is hot. Yeah. I am a sexist bastard. She is hot, but I can't understand what word she says because her internet connection is horrible. What's that? I'm sorry.
I wanted to bring something up before you close.
Be my guest.
It's something I forgot about a while back, but that I want to do. And the movie Vaxxed is now on DVD. And I'm going to buy the movie. It's like $10. It's not a lot. It's come down since the first time I thought about it, so that's great. What the thing is, I'd like to do a hangout out on someone's channel. Clearly not my channel. I don't know if you want to do this or not, Steve.
No, you do. Why don't you do it on the Great Debate Community channel?
Okay, we can do it in the Great Debate Community
channel. That's what this for. It's exactly that kind of stuff.
And we can go through the movie and critique it and get people who know what they're talking about, like Fiona and Sam and Hogtie. I wanted to mention it to Hogtie. He left right before I came in. I sent him a note saying, "Darn it, you left." But the thing is, screen the movie. I don't have the ability to do that. So what I'd like to do is when I buy the DVD, I want to send it to and screen the movie. From Amazon, I've got Amazon Prime. It won't cost me anything for shipping. So if there is someone who has the ability to screen the movie,
I mean, you want to play the whole movie, or go through the movie like bits and pieces?
Well, I think we can skip a lot of it. I think we can. As a matter of fact, I think it might not be a bad idea to have an off-air hangout beforehand and go through the whole movie, and then we can pick bits and pieces to do publicly, or however, you know.
And maybe at some point, I might be able to bring up bringing in Mary Toko. I don't want to right now, obviously.
Right.
You know, because I mean, they want to have hangouts on their own channel, and I get that, but they know that they're not getting the people they want to debate with on their channel. Right. His channel, his debates are beginning about 2,000, maybe on a good one 4,000, but when they get somebody from the Great Debate Community, they're 13, 14, 15,000 views. Kent knows this.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Kent knows
Yeah.
this, that my channel is promoting the shit out of this stuff. So he doesn't want to like change that. But she has said, Rhonda, his secretary, has said, we really don't like sending traffic to the other channels, and I get that. She's right from their perspective, but she's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't want to really like say, do you want to like have Mary have a debate or something like that? Not yet, right? So
right. But anyway, so that I just wanted to put that out there, and I just want to know who has the ability to actually play the DVD and then screen it online and do it well, not like half-ass. I don't want someone to play the DVD and then aim their camera at their computer. That's not going to work very well. So,
well, that leaves me out.
Yeah. So, if there is anyone who has the ability to do that, I will send them the DVD, and if they want to give me their address or whatever, I will send them the DVD, and then we can arrange, what we want to do with it. Get together a group of people, and because I think this is something we should go through.
I would watch it.
Yeah, and well, you can join in. You don't have to.
I wouldn't join in that way. I whenever it comes to things like anti-vaxxing or medical kind of stuff, I kind of avoid those because I have nothing to offer, nothing to add whatsoever.
But yeah, but see, sometimes it's really important to have someone who doesn't necessarily know the subject very well, because they can stop everybody and go, wait, what's this? Heavy Holler is great at that.
That's true.
Cliff Jumper is great at that, because you need that other voice to say,
Heavy
wait a
Holler
minute, wait a minute.
Questions. I mean, he asked some great questions, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. I might even check with Cliff Jumper. He might have the ability to do that. And I could send it to him from Amazon UK if he did. I'll check with him. He hasn't been. He's been working on train videos. So
yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to lay that out there.
Cool. Yeah. And anybody can say anybody else. Go ahead. And anybody else that wants to use the Great Debate, you can become a manager, and you have control over the Great Debate channel. Please use it. And nobody's used it so far. I know Helena wants to, but if anybody wants to use it, all they do is got to contact me. I'll make your manager, and you just run it like you would your own channel. You're just doing it on the Great Debate, and that way we'll get the more subs. Excuse me, on that channel, and I'll be a community type thing. Anybody can put what they want on it. But anyways, Luna, say hi to Pimp Monk for me. Let him know we put a shout out to him. If you haven't subscribed to Pimp Monk, go subscribe to him. Make him feel better. He's got 15,000 subs, so I don't know why the fuck I'm shouting out to his channel. He can go fuck himself. But no, I'm kidding. I like Pimp Monk. He's a nice guy. So go subscribe to him if you haven't. Apologia just got 3,000 subs, guys. So good job with that. Lemise says Gman can be a manager too. Well, Gman is part of the Great Debate community, Lemise. So I mean, I think that even though I am divorcing him, being a part of the Great Debate community, I can't really exclude him from being a manager if he wants to. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, Red Eye's in the live chat too. Hey, Red Eye. He's one of Pimp Monk's mods too. But anyways, last word. Last word goes to Taco. You were sitting there, been quiet for this entire time, Taco. So, Taco, what's the last word? Taco fell asleep. So who gets the last word? Mike, you get the last word.
Math confusing, brain hurt.
There you go. Math confusing, brain hurt. Good night.